up, beautiful souls? Your boy Loon is back with another Reddit read, and you guys see it in the title. We're doing another fan favorite here with r/AmITheDevil. For those of you guys that are new to this series and this subreddit, AmITheDevil is essentially where OP is the villain and is the one that is wrong. And it's nice because oftentimes on Reddit, you don't find that. So it's always a silly and goofy time reading these. I love reading these, and based off of the views, it seems like you guys like them as well. Before we get into this though, thank you everyone who's wished me happy birthday. This past weekend was my birthday. I'm 28 now. It's crazy. My back hurts every day now. But yeah, you guys mean the world to me, so I appreciate all your birthday wishes. And then also, I do want to mention that I am cooking up some fun video essay content. The next one that is coming out, I believe the next video that's coming out is going to be one that I'm writing on the failures of modern Hollywood. So you guys stay tuned for that. Also, if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button and also hit the subscribe and notification bell. All right, let's get into this. So we got the top post of the week because we haven't been on Am I the Devil in like 2 weeks now. This one says, I almost unalived my girlfriend. Why is she mad? That's the title. I know you guys can't see it. I didn't want to, have that on YouTube and get demonetized. All right, so we're on r/relationship advice here. And it says, the title of the original post is, girlfriend hasn't talked to me in 2 days after driving incident. And they're like not super young either. They're like my age. The girlfriend's 27 and he's 25, meaning, and by that I mean like they're grown adults that should know better. But let's read this. So OOP says, we're both grad students at a large school with roads running through. Cars and bikes share, and cars aren't meant to take over cyclists on campus. Okay, so there's roads that both the bikes and cars on campus are using. I was running late a few days ago and tried to overtake a cyclist. I know I shouldn't have. Oh, dude, come on, you're a douche for that. Don't do that. That's so dangerous. I know I shouldn't have, but I thought that there was plenty of room and it would just be this one time. Cyclist turns out to be my girlfriend. Oh, this is gonna be great. She was really pissed. I wonder why. This is a total no consequences right here. Yelling about how I drive like a dipshit and terrified her. And I'm going to unalive someone doing that. Hasn't talked to me since. How do I fix this? Outside of promising to be more a considerate driver, which I have done via text, but she ignored. Wow. You're going to have to like really get on her good graces. Hashtag Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, like, the crazy thing is that it seems like he wouldn't have cared if it wasn't his girlfriend. It's like he only cares the fact that it's his girlfriend that this situation even happened. Meaning that more than likely he's probably going to do this again if it was someone else. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't even know how you save yourself from this, but let's read the comments. He would not have cared if this person he didn't know that he almost hit. Yeah, I agree. I would bet real money on it. Yep. My favorite part is how he thinks this is only an issue because his soon-to-be ex was the cyclist. Exactly. So everybody's in agreement with this. Oh, snap. There's a continuation. Girlfriend 27 hasn't talked to me, 25 male, in 2 days after driving incidents. Oh, no way. We got a continued. Oh, no. Oh, no, that wasn't an actual post. Okay, they were just saying it should be on that. Am I the ex? Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one's NSFW, so I'm going to blur it just in case. I'm going to see what I can show. And this is going to be a trigger warning for essay. So the post on Am I the Devil says, she made her invite him to her wedding. Oh, no. This is going to be bad, guys. Yeah. All right, I'm going to read this. I just skimmed over it, and I think I can unblur this, or I'll selectively blur if it gets really bad. But the original post says, my daughter, who's 32, and she OOP is 52, so 20 years apart, had her baby recently and gave me horrifying news. Trigger warning. Okay. This post is essentially what the title says. My daughter recently had a baby with her husband, and when I went to go see the baby for the first time, she laid out some ground rules for the family. The majority of them were reasonable, like washing her hands, no amber necklaces as gifts, respect her privacy, etc. She mentioned that her grandfather would not be allowed to be alone with her baby. Oh, no. Oh, where is this going to be going? Oh, no. I thought this was strange and out of the blue, so I asked her to clarify. She simply restated that he was not allowed to be alone with the baby ever at all at any age. No. She's always had a conflict with her grandfather. No matter what, she refuses to have nothing to do with him or anything to do with him and speaks poorly of him whenever given the opportunity. She won't go to family dinners and when he is there, and she won't spend any sort of time with him. Who I wonder why. This is going to be a tough one. There's a part here that I'm going to have to blur. We had to fight tooth and nail to get him invited to her wedding. She had problems with other family members, but she's never had a problem being cordial with them. Her grandfather is the one exception. We actually ended up in a screaming match when she was around 22 about her behavior towards him, where she couldn't, or I guess wouldn't, provide any solid reason as to why she hated him beyond him being just a D. Yes, he's an a-hole, but no more than any other old man. Old men are just a-holes, at least in my family. That's a wild generalization. Maybe in your family, but I've met some really awesome old men, especially in the gym. I tried to reason with her since he is nearing the end of his life and would love to meet his great-grandchild. And she was very firm with me. I felt so stupid. And also, like, dude, hold up. It's her baby. If she wants someone to not be in their life, it's her choice, right? Until the baby is of age to decide for themselves, right? I mean, that's how I would feel about it if I was a parent. I felt so stupid because it took me forever to realize why she didn't want him around her baby. She looked at me and very firmly repeated that he was not allowed around her child alone under any circumstances. I asked what she meant by that, and she didn't say anything, just stared at me. Come on, dude. At this point, like, I mean, I'm guessing something in my head. I'm sure you guys are kind of thinking the same thing because we're all kind of smart. But let's see. At that point, I started suspecting that he had done something very wrong. And when I asked my daughter what he did, she only said, "You know, and I don't want to say it or talk about it." Oh, God, no. That is heinous, dude. God, I hate hearing stuff like this. It pisses me off that, like, this happens so often, too. I mean, assuming that I'm guessing what actually happened is right. I've met many people that have gone through, I mean, not like a lot, but enough to where it's insane. I mean, even one time is already awful, but like, I can't believe this is more than just a one-off. I asked her again if he had done anything, had done something to her, if he had touched her or anything like that. And she just got very teary-eyed and told me she didn't want to talk about it. Like, yeah, dude, respect that she doesn't want to talk about it. When she's ready, she'll tell you. Stop prying at this point. She said, OOP said, "I am devastated. I never thought him to be capable of that kind of behavior, but it does make sense. There was a lot of things in my daughter's childhood that were abnormal, infections, paranoia, depression, etc., that I had chalked up to our family's mental health history and just a luck of the draw. I never thought he had done anything or he had anything to do with these problems. I am so lost now. We haven't talked since then, and I've been sobbing for hours. I can't stop. I don't know what to do, who to tell, if I should tell anyone at all. How do I navigate this? I love my daughter very much, and I'm having trouble coming to terms with the actions of my father." And then there's an update. I visited my daughter this morning. She does not seem upset with me and was more excited about her baby than anything, which was lovely to see. I figured she wanted to drop the topic, but I felt that it was important that I was at least able to apologize. I apologized for forcing him to come to the wedding, her wedding. She was insistent that it was fine. I was insistent that it was not. I apologized for failing her as a mother and not being more aware of her behavior and feelings. I promised her that if she would like, she would never have to even hear about her grandfather again. It would be like he never existed. Someone in the comments suggested that I offered her wedding photos edited so that my grandfather wasn't in any of them, and she did take me up on that offer. I asked her what she wanted to do and made it clear that I would support her whatever decision she made. That's good. So far, it's good things that you're, I mean, it sucks that it took this long, but at least she's trying to do her best. She said that enough time has passed and she has gone through enough therapy on her own that his evil actions don't affect her as much as they used to. She said that she doesn't really think about it anymore and only when she's around him. That's great. And I mean, that makes sense also. She does not want to pursue legal action against him. However, she does not want him to have any contact with her or anyone in the family. I told her that I would make it happen however I needed to. We talked for a very long time. I apologized a lot. I made it clear that she was under no obligation to forgive me as I wouldn't if I were in her shoes. We hugged a lot. We cried a lot. We will not be acting on anything until she feels comfortable. which she said she might be a while as she is very tired and emotionally postpartum. I would be quietly asking my mother not to allow my father around any of the children in our family until we get things sorted out. My daughter gave me permission to tell my mother loosely what happened. My mother is a very private woman, so we both felt comfortable telling her. My daughter is well beyond that. She doesn't seem angry or hurt, but then again, she's had years to come to terms with this thanks to my lack of awareness. Her baby is a very beautiful and healthy and is very calm, which is good for her right now. She's happy and excited to be a mother. I won't fail my grandchild like I did with her, and I will never fail my daughter again. I will like to ask one question though to the people messaging me with D threats or unalive threats, telling me that there's still time to wow, KMS. What? Oh my God, I have to blur this. Why would people tell her, wishing her R word against her just because of that? That's crazy. I think where this one is like, am I the devil, is the fact that she was just so unaware of it more than anything for so long. I mean, I will admit that it's nice to see that she's trying her best now, knowing everything. But the way she wrote that was very... it was goofy. And like this comment kind of speaks of it. He's just your every other normal a-hole like every other old man. What's the big deal with that? OP/mom in the comments. Her dismissing her daughter's mental health issues as hereditary. I am ashamed of myself. I genuinely believe blah, blah, blah. They gotta blur some of this too. She never bothered to even ask her daughter why she hated her grandfather so much. She never mentioned any A to me or ever made any attempt. Like, I feel like the issue with this is like, if you know your daughter is going through this, and look, she's 32 now, and 30 plus years of you just not knowing, something kind of glaring at you, you're either just next level oblivious or like at this point maybe, and this is just my assumption from the outside looking in, maybe she just didn't want to believe it, you know? And I know some people go through dealing with that because they don't want to have to deal with something so heady. But like, how will anything ever change, and how can you be there for anyone ever if it's like that? It's kind of like that. I forgot the actual terminology, like psychological terminology, but it's like the whole Clark Kent wearing the glasses and that everyone believes that he's just Clark Kent, even though it's just glasses. But like, it's like you don't want to believe it kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. That was a tough one. Sorry to start so dark, but hopefully we get into some more silly ones. Usually Am I the Devil is a lot more silly. So apologies in advance. And again, let's find something a little bit lighter. I don't know if this is gonna be lighter, but let's see. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to leave? Okay. So the original title was AITA for telling my wife to leave instead of my parents after they fought about her religion. Whoa. Okay. So I don't even know where to start with this, but I guess here's some important context. I'm 31 male and my wife is a 29-year-old. We've been married for a little over a year, but together for 5 years overall. My parents are super Christian. I grew up that way, but I don't really practice. A bit more agnostic, but I just kind of go along with whatever to keep my family happy. My wife is Hellenic. What is that? I'm sorry, I'm kind of dumb. Hellenic is a religious context, refers to the modern pluralistic religion practiced in Greece. What? Dude, that's sick. Is this the one where you believe in like Greek mythology and stuff? Hold up. Who identify the religions as a way of is it hedonism? No, it's Hellenism, are often referred to as non-Greek devotees of the Greek gods who... Wait, so do they believe in all the gods? Because that's sick. I love Greek mythology. Oh, dude, what? Okay, sorry. I'm like going on a tangent, but that's such an interesting belief. So his wife is that. She takes it really serious. She's got 2 altars at the house, one for Aphrodite in the living room, and the other in her long walk-in closet for Dionysus. She does festivals, offerings, all that. It's never been an issue for us. That's crazy. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not shaming or anything. I've just never met anyone actually believing this stuff, which is like so wild because I love Greek mythology. I love reading Greek mythology. For those of you guys that don't know, I literally have Greek mythology on my body. I have Icarus falling right there, and then I have the Myth of Sisyphus, which is a book connecting Greek mythology with philosophy, modern philosophy. But yeah, that's crazy. My parents have never really liked it though. Yeah, Gio, I wonder why. Christian and that's like 2 polar opposite religions. Or not polar, but pretty opposite. Even before they moved in, my mom joked once if we were planning on having gods raise our future kids for us, which I would admittedly laughed at. And my dad refused to eat bread my wife baked at our Christmas dinner a few years ago because it didn't have the proper blessings until I pushed him to because it came after one of her holiday things. This is crazy. Like, I can't even imagine this happening. And then you thinking like, oh, gee, I wonder why there's tension. My mom also said she worries she was inviting dark spirits in, stuff like that. Dude, I would straight up just tell my parents like, bro, F off, like stop. This is my wife, bro. Like if your wife is your actual legitimate wife, your partner in crime, your partner in everything, right? In life, why would you not stand up for her and like what she believes in? That's why I have to like, when it comes down to dating seriously and searching for an eventual wife or whatever, I need somebody that is going to have similar viewpoints. It doesn't have to be exact, but it has to be similar just because of situations like this. Like, I mean, I'm agnostic, but like, as long as someone is somewhat not hardcore in any religion, like it's just not going to work. Anyways, back in April, my dad lost his job and couldn't pay for rent, and their landlord kicked them out. They had nowhere else to go since my sister doesn't have the room his sister doesn't have any room, and anyone who would take them in lives out of state, so we let them stay with us. It was supposed to be short, but it ended up being 4 months now. Since they've been here, it's been a bit of a nightmare. My mom accidentally broke one of my wife's offering bowls in the living room and then said maybe it's a sign those things shouldn't be put out in public where people can see. Dude, that just sounds like you want to just get kicked out. Like, how do they not know that they're being absolute a-holes? My dad has made a couple comments about praying for her soul unprovoked. Then my mom actually sprinkled holy water around our bedroom and in my wife's closet where she keeps her Dionysus altar. This literally sounds like an SNL skit. Like, how is this a thing? My wife freaked out about that, but my mom said that she was protecting us and our spirits. My wife's been saying for a while now that she feels like she's not welcome in her own house. Dude, I totally understand this feeling. When I had a roommate and his girlfriend, and dude, the stuff that they would say, and like, well, mainly her, and she would look at me a certain way and stuff, and they just judge me. I felt like I wasn't welcome in my house, bro. It's the worst feeling. She's cried about it, and we fought about it because she says I don't stick up for her. I get that. Do you though? Because for 4 months, beyond 4 months now, you have not really stuck up to them about her. But I've done little things, like I've told my parents not to touch her altars. I made sure that they don't rearrange her offerings. I've asked her to leave her room alone, even quietly told them that they're crossing a line. Dude, why does it have to be so quietly? You sound like you're so... Honestly, I don't want to be mean, but you sound like a puss. Like, bro, like what? Just straight up tell him, bro. Like, not even trying to make it a man thing. Just be an adult about it and just be like, dude, don't do this. I mean, be a man. I was just like, or a woman, if it was flipped. Even quietly told them that they're crossing a line when they make comments. It's not like I do nothing. I just try to do it without lashing out, because if I yell at them every time, it would be a fight every day and nothing would get done. Or you just stand up and just tell them, hey, look, you don't have to live with us. We're going to kick you out if you keep doing this. She says that's not enough, and I get that too. But I don't think it's fair for her to say that I don't stick up for her at all. Oh, brother, stop being the victim. Stop it. So things have been tense between us. In early July, she wanted to celebrate this festival, Aphrodisia, but that morning, my parents said there was an emergency with their storage unit and that they needed her help because she had a car and I would be at work. She spent the whole day helping and didn't get to do the first day of her celebration and had to cover shifts for her coworkers the next 2 days. My wife didn't really speak to my parents for a bit after that. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. Also, like, I honestly, like, I would just pay for them to get an Uber. Like, so last night she decided to finally do it late. She had a couple friends over and set up in the living room. Dude, even though I don't believe in this religion, it would be so fun to have a friend that does. Like, that's so fascinating. My parents walked in halfway through, and my mom said she wasn't comfortable with that sort of thing in the house. Buddy, but it's not your house. What the like, this is starting to piss me off. And my dad said that he couldn't allow false idol worship under his roof. And again, he thinks it's his roof. Buddy, it's not your roof. My wife yelled that it's her house too and that they ruined it for her once. And they already ruined it for her once. My dad yelled back that she was dragging me away from her, from God. Classic Christian shit right there. I mean, like hardcore Christian shit. Her friends were sitting there looking uncomfortable, and so was I. I didn't know what to do. Everyone was screaming, and I panicked and told my wife to leave until things calmed down. You told your wife to leave? Dude, you are gonna get divorced. Like, I mean, I don't wish that upon you, but it sounds like it might happen. She just stopped and looked at me, then went upstairs, grabbed some of her things, and left with her friends. Hell, I would never come back. If somebody did that to me, man, my parents were kind of relieved after that. Like, I finally did something right. But now my wife isn't answering my calls and texts now. After I called, oh yeah, I wonder why. After I called her a few hours after she left, and there, she said she was tired of fighting to matter as much as me as my parents do, or matter as much to me as my parents do. I know it's messed up that everything got to this point, but honestly, if she hadn't started yelling like that and dragged her friends into it, maybe it wouldn't have blown up. Am I the a-hole for asking her to leave instead of them? Bro, it's even the way that you're framing this as a writer, like, oh, maybe if she didn't, how is this at all your wife's fault? This guy is the biggest dummy of all. Honestly, he deserves a clown costume at this point. Like, what? Like, how do you not know that it isn't nothing to do with your wife at all? If she believes in this thing and you chose her to be your wife, you got to understand that, buddy. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is just pissing me off. Edit, can't reply to everyone, but I've read a lot of comments and I know I messed up bad. Oh, do you? I feel awful for how I treated my wife, and now I get now that telling her to leave the house instead of standing up to my parents is the worst thing I could have done, along with the other things that had happened. I love how it took him to read comments on Reddit to understand this. Like, you're a grown-ass man, right? Like, how old is he? 31. You're older than me, bro. How are you this dumb? I'm gonna talk to her and apologize properly. Also, I've been getting some really nasty DMs, including unalive threats, which is not okay at all. Yeah, I mean, I do agree, like, you should never give unaliving threats because you don't want that juju, but, like, dude is really freaking stupid. Yeah, someone said, I think both you and your dad forgot that it's not his effing roof. What's outrageous to me about the story, if it is true or bait, is that he whispers to his parents while they are obviously disrespectful to their daughter-in-law and her religion. But when she defends herself, he shows her the door. Yeah, that is insane. People be goofy, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, this one's gonna be a good one. I know you guys are gonna like this one. The title on Am I the Devil is Looks or Brains? Women Can't Have Them Both. Dude, that is an insane. Okay, well, let's read this first. And you know what's funny? I know I have some lurkers from IncelIS that subscribe to me. Some very chill ones, and then some very interesting people that watch these videos, and they're gonna be like, oh, I agree. It's gonna be baffling to them when they find out that women can actually be smart and hot. I actually know like a lot of them. I know it's insane, but hey, it's actually more insane that a guy can be both. I'm playing. Both people can be smart and hot. I've actually met many of both sides. All right, r/relationship advice is where it originally posts, and the original post title is 27-year-old male, made a mistake by choosing the hot one, which is a 25-year-old female. The fact that you're referring to her as the hot one is crazy. Let's read this. So recently I was chatting with two girls, one super hot. This is a great start, but not really my vibe personality-wise, and the other one not as flashy, but way more on my wavelength. Oh God, a 27-year-old, you're gonna learn a lesson that I learned at like 18. I mean, everybody learns at different rates, so I'm not comparing, but let's see. With her, the convo just flowed. We clicked, we had similar interests, and the chemistry was there. Oh no, I think I know where this is going. The other one, yeah, she was a total knockout, but we were definitely into each other physically, but the talks were shallow and we didn't connect much beyond the surface. Even knowing that, I let the hormones do all the talking and gave more attention to the hot but boring one. I let the other girl down politely, but honestly, I felt bad. I actually liked hanging out with her. Why is it so damn hard to find someone who's hot and actually cool to be around? Dude, that is a savage thing to say to the other girl. And like, also, this is a good indicator to know like how much you value looks versus personality. And also, you got to learn that not everyone's going to be perfect too, on top of that. And it's okay to be shallow. Like, I'm not judging people who are shallow. I'm pretty shallow too, but I'm picky. I like personality. I like looks. I like all of it. I need all of it in order for me to date, and to a degree. But I also understand that, again, no one can be perfect. Like, you can't just assume everyone and every, like, perfection shouldn't be what you're striving for, you know? But not gonna lie, maybe I'm the shallow guy, but let's be honest, physical attraction does matter when choosing someone. Why does it have to be looks or personality? Can it be both? See, okay, this part I'm not bothered by, like, being the shallow guy, because at least he's honest, and I know a lot of people who are shallow, girls and guys, but this part is the crazy one. It's okay to be shallow, but there are people out there that, believe it or not, can vibe with you and be hot. Although it is going to be more narrow selecting based on what your standards are for both. Like, if you have really, really high standard, obviously it's just going to, like, cut the dating pool down. But, like, it's possible to have it. It sounds like you can't have one or the other. Is he friends with my hot pharmacist girlfriend, doesn't want to discuss life, the universe, and everything with me, so she's obviously not the sharpest tool in the shed guy? What? I guess there's a reference to another guy on here. This is funny. It's a reference to when he said he let the hormones do all the talking. OP is 27-year-old and still blaming the hormones. Yeah, you know, and this is going to be something I'm going to give guys a lesson, guys like this, because I'm 28. I'm officially 28 now. And I've been dating for a while, and I understand this, you know, fallacy we have of, like, picking the hot one or picking the... Well, look, first off, there is such thing as women who can be hot and also be very smart. Now, if it comes down to picking between the two, that is totally something that you got to decide. But when it comes down to it, guys, as I've gotten older, you got to understand how much more important personality and wifey material really is. Whatever you determine the wifey material is, because looks, as shallow as they may be, to a degree, can actually be altered. Not like, I'm not talking surgery and stuff. I'm talking like just taking care of themselves, style, stuff like that. Personality is a lot harder to alter. And, like, if you're not meshing personality wise, like, that's a big deal. Like, and that's girl and guy. I'm talking about it like, okay, and I'll flip it over. Let's say when you're a girl, you're dating a guy. I'm not saying, like, don't date someone that you're not attracted to. Attraction is important, but I'm saying, like, attraction, like the way he dresses or the way that he could, you know, take care of himself, groom, work out. These things can alter a way that a guy looks. Can a guy understand and match your silliness and stuff? I don't know. That's not something that's so easily trained. It's possible, but, like, I don't know. I've gotten older and just started realizing that, like, personality just matters so much more. But still, there is a importance in initial and steady, like, physical attraction too. Like, I don't want to undermine that, of course. But that one was so funny. Okay, this one says he will end up staying with Anna. Okay. It's under Am I the A-hole? The original post says, AITA for setting a boundary with my adult son and allowing him to face the consequences of his own actions. I, 40-year-old single mother to Alex, 20, so they're 20. She had him at 20. Even though I am disappointed in Alex right now, he is the light of my life and all the family I have. Recently, Alex has started dating this girl, Anna, who's 20. I do not like Anna. I grew up as a tomboy with parents who wanted me to be independent, so I have worked for everything I have, which was especially difficult as a young single mom. But there's nothing I'm more proud of than my son. Anna is the type of girl that used to bully me. She has a wealthy family and has had everything handed to her and strikes me as a prissy because of this. I have, like, wait, hold up. I'm curious why she thinks this. If it's just because she grew up from, like, a nice family and stuff, that's, like, super generalization, which is not good. And, like, very prejudiced of her. I have told Alex how I feel about her, but he insists that there's nothing wrong with her since she's never been directly rude or anything. But he's a boy, so he isn't familiar with that kind of nasty that type of girl can be. Yeah, but it can be. The type of girl can is not always. Like, I've met rich people who grew up in a normal household that can be pretty freaking cool. Now, I've also met some that can be the worst. Like, but that's the same thing with poor people too. Like, what? Anna's birthday was yesterday, and her parents had planned to take their family out to a nice restaurant to eat, and Alex was invited. I really don't understand why a 20-year-old would need to go out to a fancy restaurant and thought it was an incredibly spoiled of Anna. Wait, whoa. What do you mean? You don't know why a 20? Because it's nice for them to go out. What? Just because he's 20, can't go to a fancy restaurant. How dare you? Stick to McDonald's until you're at least 21. And thought it was incredibly spoiled of Anna to allow her parents to pay for that. What? If her parents wants to pay for it, that's actually like customary. That at least in Asian culture, the oldest or like whoever invited everyone out pays. But you do fight for the bill as an Asian. It is kind of a thing. And I don't want to have that attitude rubbing off on my son. Oh, brother. So I told Alex that I didn't want to go, or didn't want him to go. You weren't invited. Sorry. She wasn't invited, just Alex. So just because you had a bad experience with a girl that is of the same upbringing as a girl that your son's dating, you all of a sudden don't want him to do any fun things ever. He insisted on going, and good, because he's a grown-ass man. And this made me feel like he was ignoring me for her. Oh, God, you know what? This is like hardcore mommy issues right here. Like cuddling her child so much, even though he's a grown-ass man. Also, I have never been able to afford meals like that. So I feel like Alex was rubbing it in that Anna's family could give him things that he'd never had, or that I've never had. Did he? But I feel like that's all in your head. And I really didn't appreciate that when I've sacrificed so much for him. Did he say something, or is it just literally in your head? Alex was supposed to come home from college for winter break, but I really don't want to see him right now. The issue is that he lives in an off-campus apartment, and the campus is not open during the winter break. The deadline is to register to stay in the dorms has already passed, so he won't be able to stay in his apartment over break. I really think he's old enough to figure this one out on his own, and I pay for my house, so I should be in control of who stays there and when, but he's really upset. Am I the a-hole? So easy. Yes. What the hell? Like, you know, I feel like if you're a parent, you want the best for your children. You want them to live a better life than you, not the same life as you, a better life. So what, like, this is just a terrible mentality to have. Dude, they're not insinuating anything. They've been trying to be nice. Someone skipped kindergarten on the golden rule day. Yeah, sharing is caring. What confuses me is that, isn't it common for parents to pay for birthday dinners for adult children if they take them out? Not all parents take their kids to birthday dinners, but the ones that do. Wait, was it a birthday dinner? I didn't even catch that. Aren't they more likely to pay, no matter how much the money they have? I do understand that the root of the cause wasn't that the parents were paying, but rather that Alex was going to go. And OOP doesn't like Anna. Yeah, that's crazy. Couldn't be me. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up on that note. Again, thank you for everyone's birthday wishes. Stay tuned, guys. I have a really fun video essay that I cooked up. I mean, I did a lot of research on Hollywood, and so I'm excited to cook that one up for you guys. But yeah, love you guys so much. I'm going to go on a post B-Day dinner with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.